All right, guys, and welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. However, it's just the foreign dude and a bunch of domestics because I have no idea where I was at, but we'll get by. So,
Slacker.
with that being said, we'll go to start with Chico Wise. What's up, brother?
Good, brother. Thanks for having me. As always, I'm excited, man. Find out what we're gonna talk about, and I want to say thanks to all my panel members and everyone in the side chat. I'll be definitely interacting with y'all guys, but I'm putting myself on mute because I'm doing some stuff. So thanks for having me, brother.
Cool. Good to have you. That freedom.
Hey. Been busy getting mail from somebody on this panel, and everybody who watched my video know who that person is. So here's a public thanks to the guy who is truly my brother and family. So, hey, everybody out there, let me pull the chat up here because I hadn't even done that yet. It's good to be with this group down here too.
Awesome. Good to have you, brother. Jesse B.
Thanks for having me on. Glad to be with everybody on the panel. Got a bad habit started this weekend. If you watch my videos, I've been putting out about every day. I've been buying stuff to reload. And for people who are in the chat, I do got my phone here. I'm chatting with all you guys on that. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Good to have you, man. Jamie.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. Scotsman, thanks for having me. All guys on the panel, good to see y'all. Thanks for joining us. I've been doing a lot of casting. I'm going to probably be like Chico, muting myself from time to time. I'm going to be powder coating some bullets tonight, probably as we go through tonight. So,
Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. Tactical Swede.
What's up, man? It's good to be back on here. I've missed a couple now. Ever since you changed the time, it's been messing with me. So good to get back on here again and chat with you guys. Good to see the side chat rolling. Yeah, I've been absent from YouTube, at least on the Tactical Swede side of things. I've been doing a lot of other stuff on the B channel side of things, doing a lot of snowboarding and working on the PC build, which we're actually running live with for the first time. So hopefully everything stays working good as it is right now.
Looks good on my end, dude. Nice and crystal clear.
Cool. Yeah, I'll give you guys a little preview before the video goes up. But yeah, there she is. She's nice and pretty. Good old Project Sith Lord there. Gotta get my Star Wars nerd in.
That's pretty awesome, dude. Very cool. Sorry, excuse me. We have, let's see. Phil jumped in. Hey, Phil, how you doing, brother?
All right. How about yourself? I'm glad to be here. Sorry I was late. Had to take care of some business. But glad to be here. Glad to see everybody on the panel and see everybody on the side chat.
Awesome. Good deal. And we have the one, the only, my bearded brother from another mother, CB82. What's up, man?
Oh, it's just another glorious day. Finally getting some sunlight and some decent above freezing weather out here in Iowa for a change, but everything's flooding. Got to try to stay high, I guess.
Awesome. Good to have you, man. And then we have the Tyven Show. What's up?
Hey, thanks for letting me come in and join. I thought you guys was already live. That's why I said, hey, man, do you need an extra? So thanks for letting me come in, guys. I got some questions tonight. That's why I requested to join in. I need the broadband guest of everybody here some reloading questions. So hopefully you guys can help me out.
Awesome. I think we got plenty on the panel that'll be able to do that.
I need knowledge.
Pretty sure you're going to get a knowledge bomb.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me in tonight, guys. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks so kindly.
Absolutely. All right. So with that being said, we'll start going in and see who's got a topic. I don't have a whole lot tonight, unfortunately. Third shift's throwing me off a little, so my brain's all scattered.
Third shift? What do you mean third shift?
I'm on third shift, man. That's why the time's earlier.
Oh, so you're making the big money now. I see how it is.
No, I was actually making more on day shift, but because I was getting more overtime.
There you go.
But we'll see. I'm supposed to start getting more overtime here soon on the night shift again, so that will help out big time. And trust me, I need it after what I spent in the last couple of weeks. But,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to file some paperwork with the good old government. So
I thought maybe spend all that money on that haircut. Looks like you got it trimmed down pretty tight.
I cut
Manscaping.
I cut my own because I don't like this right here. So I just shave it all off.
You mean like when it gets long like that, you get the same effect?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm in denial, dude. Baseball cap. There you go. I see him pulling his hat off. He just said, "The heck with it, man." Chrome dome.
Yeah, it's warm out now. Time for the hair to be gone.
There you go. Well, go ahead. Not being rude, go ahead and do what you got to do there. Not being rude, guys, but I do need some knowledge tonight. So whenever you get a free moment, once you get past all your subjects and stuff.
Go ahead. I start asking away, man.
Okay. So, didn't mean to pimp it, but we're doing the Creator Summit. I have purchased a 330 Lapula Savage. Fort Scott is doing the weapon now. I am going to purchase some of their weapons because they are a sponsor, but they do sell just the bullet, and they offer that caliper in for reloading. I have reloaded in the past, but 5.56 stuff. And when you get into the precision stuff, I've watched like Johnny's Reloading Bench, Elvis Ammo, and a few other guys. And these guys are straight, not only weighing the primer, the case, the powder, the bullet, and they go in and they try to match all that stuff. I saw a guy the other day actually do something in reloading that I've never seen before. He had a little tool, and you've got your case, you know, the blast cap would be back here, and then the bullet would slide in the end. And he had this little tool that went all the way in the case, and he can measure the thickness of the case all the way out to the neck. And then he could come down in, and then he was measuring the thickness of the neck. And then he had this little tool that you would put on the end, and it would twirl it around, and it would take off the excess where it was still on the side versus and matching it. Is it really imperative to do that much extreme measuring when getting into like precision stuff? Did I miss a step? Is there something else in that I need to know? Because like I said, gentlemen, I reloaded 5.56, and it was just, hey, we reloaded 1,000 rounds. We went out 20 minutes later. It was gone. It was no big deal. I'm doing the precision stuff. I'm shooting out to 1 mile, maybe a little bit further. Please, I need some knowledge. Anybody?
Go ahead, Jamie. I think you're probably the best one to answer this one.
What you're talking about is neck turning, and if you're going out to a mile, 1,000 yards or further, yes, you need to do all that.
Everything. Did I miss anything?
Well, I start with weighing my cases, and of course, now you got to understand, I don't shoot that far. If I get to 300 yards, I'm good, man. So, but I'll tell you some guys you need to watch. Check out West Desert Shooter.
Yes, I have him.
Eagle Eye Shooting, Kenny. If you would like to talk to Kenny personally, you can contact me on Skype. I can put you in contact with him. But,
please.
So get in touch with me on Skype, and not Skype, but what's the name of it, Scotsman?
Twitter, Instagram.
Slack.
No.
Slack.
Go to the Reloaders Network and click on chat and sign up for a Slack account. I got 2 messages waiting for me on there now, but yeah, I'll get in touch with you.
Please do, sir.
Put you in contact with Kenny, Eagle Eye Shooting. But yeah, when you get out to that kind of range, every little particular makes a difference. He uses 6.5 Creedmoor. He shot a milk jug at 2,000 yards this past week. So,
ooh, sweet.
Took him 20 tries, but he got it.
Does it really matter if it took you 20 tries? I mean, he hit it, right?
Yeah, but all of them were in a 6 foot square, you know. And at 2,000 yards, that's pretty good. So, yeah, all those things make a difference. You have to you'll have to get some jacketed bullets if you're going to shoot that far. You won't be able to do that with cast bullets.
Okay, I understand that. I wouldn't use cast bullets. Fort Scott uses a solid brass round. Each round is individually made on a lathe. I can't go into specifics on how they do stuff because it's all copyright stuff. And I don't want to get into divulging any information like secrets or whatever, but they literally turn each round, and it's a solid brass round, and it's a tumble upon impact round. I was going to go with their rounds. Now, when they get their material, I'm not going too much detail, but the material that they use would be even all the way through the round, the projectile. You know, like aluminum, when they make aluminum, it's better to squeeze it and then squeeze it and then squeeze it, then use it versus just using like a raw stock. Yeah. Well, they do that with their material before they produce the bullet. So it's even. So it wouldn't be like a gap or a crack or whatever over here. Then on this side, you know, it's solid. That way when it spins, it doesn't do all this crazy stuff. I mean, they're doing precision stuff.
Right.
So, okay. Now, with all that being said, I do have a 222 bolt action. I've got another bolt action, but I don't have anything quote unquote precision for like going way out at those distances. With doing all that with the round, what do I need to do to the weapon to prep it? I've heard of guys using like liquid, like Slick 50 you'd stick in your motor. It causes the bullet to slide faster, easier through the barrel. Do you guys use like a lube inside your bore? Is that a thing?
That's first I've heard of that. But one thing about the rifle is way they'll do that is they'll have the bolt face turned and make sure that the bolt face is completely flat.
So when you put the case up, it's flat. That way the round won't wobble or take a chance of wobbling when it's fired.
Right. They'll have their chambers checked with a gunsmith. They check and they'll do a lot of measurements to see where the lands and grooves, where the rifling starts in the barrel. Of course, you got to have a pillar bedded or glass bedded receiver. You glass bed the receiver, and then you free float the barrel. And that's gunsmithing stuff that a lot of us do ourselves. But yeah, look who we got.
Could you be a little bit more specific in the glass bedding? I'm not knowledgeable.
Okay, so what happens is, let me grab this rifle.
I appreciate everybody let me take a couple seconds to ask these questions. I'm not trying to be rude and butt anybody else. I apologize. I'm seeking knowledge.
This is good learning stuff, and you can see what I've replaced my face with is a rabbit hole, because I live in a rabbit hole right now, and you have deeply entered into the realm way below Alice's land right now.
Okay. This is my Mauser, and let's assume that this is a bolt action rifle that we're going to be using for long distance shooting. Okay, you see the action right here. Say from where the barrel starts back to the tang. That part of your action needs to be glass and pillar bedded into the gun so that it's solid. It's not going anywhere. It can't move. If it
Can you hold it up just a little bit? You're below everybody's picture.
Okay, so from the tang here up to the end of the receiver, where the barrel starts, we want this glass bedded. We want it as solid as we can get it. Then from the barrel, where the barrel starts here forward, it's got to be free floated. You don't want the stock to touch the barrel at all. And you see this gun won't qualify because it's got barrel bands. Just like your lever actions have the barrel bands and stuff, that those are not going to be nearly as accurate as a long range precision gun.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can take your action off of your gun and spray a release agent on the bottom of your receiver, then fill the stock with some sort of epoxy. Check Brownells, they'll have that epoxy, and then you just press it back in there and glue it, put your screws back in it to hold it until it sets, and then you can go about getting all of it off where it's overflowed and overrun and everything, and then you start working on free floating your barrel. But a gunsmith will do that for you, probably a couple $100, maybe less, and he can do it in a day. So whereas we're working all day and we're trying to do it after hours and stuff, it'll take us 2 or 3 nights to do it.
Okay. Scott's got the rifle. They're in the process of going over it right now and doing all their tricks. Steve out there, I've talked to him several times, and he's like, we need to do this, this, and this, and this. Okay, you're the expert. But once I get that out of his hands and it's mine, I need to be able to maintain. I need to know what to look for if just as an owner, and then be able to recognize if something's wrong. Oh, hey, that's not supposed to be like that. Send it back. That's why I'm asking all these questions.
Yeah, and if you're having them go through the gun, most of that stuff that I was telling you about will be done. They'll glass bed it. They'll have it free floated for you. Now, turning the bolt face, I don't know if they'll do that, but the thing you got to be cautious of or aware of, more than cautious, is when you're going into this long range shooting thing, we have what we call the transonic zone, where you're going from supersonic to subsonic. And that's just as the bullet's going out there, it's going to get down below 1,100 feet per second, which is speed of sound. When you go through that zone right there, your bullet starts doing crazy, unpredictable stuff that we can't count on, we can't comprehend. So what we got to do there is, if at all possible, you need to make sure that your round is staying above 1,200 feet per second all the way to your intended target. A lot of rounds, that's not a possibility.
Is that where the shock wave actually catches up with the back of the bullet and then pushes the bullet and causes it to be unstable?
Well, not only pushes it, it goes past it and starts it doing all this crazy stuff. But with that,
so is it more of a vibration, or the wind, or is it the sound messing with the harmonics, or all the above?
All the above. We're still scientifically trying to figure that out. Or some guys have got it nailed, but not me. So with that, let me say hey to Alan. Glad you could join us, my brother.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your information, and I will get in contact with you.
Do that.
Hey.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Sorry to be late. I honestly was working on a dog kennel and lost track of time. It is also taking me a little bit of time to adjust to the new show time. So I do apologize for coming in late.
That's all good. You want to run through the side chat? It's blowing up pretty good out there.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Right now, there's BEM Freedom. Daniel got as my judge. Gorilla Guns and Gears, Gun Wild 1, HNRE 42, which I don't know if there's a different way to pronounce that. Inside Freedom here in the room, James Poland, James B. Outdoors, Just in Time Prepping, Annie PA, Gun Talk, Phil M. Rivers, Philip Smith, Scott P. 79, Seven Wonders, Simpson Road Larry, Thread is out there, Uncle Jim is out there, Waterford Wolf. I can absolutely bet that there's more out there that I did not include, like Casino Boss, Fred Knott out there as well, if I didn't read that already. But that is the room as it stands.
Awesome. So you're working on a kennel, huh?
Yeah. I was working on a dog kennel, but in tradition, if it hasn't been done already, please allow us to do this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Yeah, I was working at working on a dog kennel for inside the house. We do have a puppy in the house. Been doing some potty training work, and up to this point, the puppy's been spending nights in a box. We take the batteries out and we put it in a box, because we don't want the batteries to leak out inside the puppy. That just would be wrong. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and start crate training.
Well, good deal.
Is that a digital dog, like those little Japanese plastic dogs? Is that what you're talking about?
I at this point, I certainly wished it was.
Oh, okay.
It is what is commonly known as a holy terror dog, and I'll show it to you here. So this guy right here is Copper. Copper is his name. He's a bloodhound and what? He's a boxer coonhound mix.
Wow.
And he is an absolute holy terror, as you can see.
But I love you, Daddy.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, he'll lick you to death.
How old is he?
This guy now is 8 weeks. So yeah, he's 2 months on there. Which is, I mean, he's good. He's good. He's a licker, but he's also a biter. So we're trying to curb that. He's super intelligent on car rides. He licks the window. So he takes after Dad.
Yeah.
We're contemplating buying him a helmet so he can't lick the window on car rides.
Hey, Alan, got a trick for you with the pups. Take an old tube sock, tie knots into it, put it in your freezer, let it turn into ice. When they start chewing, give them that, because most of the time they do, like small children, they have gumming issues, and that will numb it, and it'll give them something to chew on that will numb their gums. I've gone through about 4 black labs like that and saved, After not knowing that in the first one, and losing telephone cords and tassels off rugs and all kinds of things, shoes, wings on shirts, all kinds of stuff. Finally figured that out in my second lab, and I've done it ever since then, and that kept them from terrorizing things.
Well, that's pretty good advice. I hadn't heard of that before, and I'll probably utilize that. The last dog that I housebroke, thought it was completely housebroke. It wasn't chewing anything else up, and then I came home one day and it had chewed like 3 outlets out of the walls.
No,
and I'm just like, you're a genius. How the heck you did that without, shocking yourself to death is beyond me. But yeah, ate the outlets from the walls. I was impressed.
It's like the cat from Christmas Vacation. Poof.
As long as you keep something in their mouth, that will dramatically keep them from chewing on stuff. I've raised a lot of puppy dogs, and when they get into that teething and they're chewing and everything, the sock and the ice in the freezer, that definitely helps. We use the wool socks because they're thicker.
Yeah.
That way they can still chomp on it, but it doesn't, hurt them. But as long as you can keep something in their mouth, and if they're getting into items like shoes and stuff, you don't want them shoes, get that apple spray and spray it on there, and then that'll keep them from chewing on specific items as well.
Well, in the past, what I have actually used is habanero juice.
Yeah.
When they've decided that they want to chew on electrical cords or whatever, I just start rubbing stuff down with habanero juice.
So do you take it to Buffalo Wild Wings, just say, hey, I need some mango habanero, and just put it all over my shoes and stuff, or do you actually buy juice?
Well, that's actually a better option. I hadn't even thought about that. I grew habaneros from the raw, and it took a long time. I probably should have just went to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Just wipe everything out instead of using a napkin. Wipe your hands off on everything. Just take a bag full of stuff you don't want them to chew. It works for certain things. If you don't wash your hands before you go to the bathroom, that mango habanero will pay you back later.
Has anybody ever done shooting training with their animals to get their dogs accustomed to the sound of firearms?
Because most of my dogs have been black labs, yeah, because I always wanted them to be shot trained. So yeah, when they were about 6 months old, they didn't go out for retrieving, but they went with us in the duck blind to become more sensitive. And leading up to that, when I would go skeet shooting or something, they would be there in a seated stay position close to me while I was shooting skeet.
My best advice is if it's your dog, you hold the dog and have somebody else shoot at like 100 yards away. That way they get used to it, and then you can comfort them a little bit, say, good boy, it's okay. And then, progressively get them closer. But the owner needs to hold the dog for the first couple. That way they get that jump out of the way. Once they become accustomed to it, you could be the shooter and just let him run around, and then teach the duck dogs and groundhog dogs, whatever. Once you get them past that shock, I mean, it's the same thing as training a horse. If you're sitting on the back of a horse and shooting, some dogs need more comfort than others. Some dogs, it don't make a difference. You can shoot right next to them and it ain't no big deal. Depends on the breed, depends if that dog's been cuddled its whole life, or he's on the wild side. It depends. But that's how we did our coon dogs and stuff growing up.
Yeah, I've seen a few different comments out in the side chat. 22 blanks work for a good start.
Yes.
Giving the dog a treat right after each shot. There's a number of ways to go about doing it. And I've worked with dogs before that end up going into jobs, and the training them with firearms isn't that difficult for me when they were younger. Trying to train an older dog to not fear it is another story altogether.
Yes. But once you get them trained and they're used to it, he's your buddy. Just like if you're sitting on in the man chair in the living room, they're right there. Man's best friend, dude.
Well, and a lot of like the retriever dogs, that's like the go command. They're just excited as all get out after they hear them shots. They're like, where am I going? Where am I going?
Yes, sir. Now, are you specifically using the puppet dog for like specific animal retrieval, or are you doing for like training for somebody else to get their dog ready to go hunting for somebody else, or what are you doing?
No, the dog itself is not mine. It's not getting. I'm not training it for any particular purpose.
Okay. There's a lot of videos on YouTube how to do all that too. It's pretty good. So,
on that note, fuck YouTube.
Yeah.
It's coming sooner or later.
Join Gunstreamer, man. They got some good stuff getting ready to be released here real soon. I think everybody's going to be presently not surprised, but very happy.
Yeah, I've been over there for a while, and I looked for Hard Target over there today because all of his videos got taken off. And he's not over there yet. I don't know if he's aware of it or not, but that's one of the things that kind of came about today. I found out when Tack texted me, wondering what the hell happened to Hard Target, because she got an email, he put up another video, and then she goes over there, all his videos are gone.
So manufacturing targets is now on a no-do list?
It's a piece of steel, for Christ's sake.
Good Lord.
What are you going to do, hit somebody over the head with it?
Well, and I'm not quite sure what that was. I haven't spoken with Gil yet. I did want to try and contact him today to hear directly from him what was happening. I know that he released a video that possibly could have been like attracted by YouTube simply because it had the word masturbation in it in the title. But nevertheless, I don't know how many videos are out there that are more on that topic than anything else. And I don't know what happened with that video, if YouTube took it down and Gil got pissed and took the rest of his videos down, or if YouTube took his videos down. At this point, it's all speculatory. I haven't had a chance to call the man, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know if that was a multiple strikes in a weekend kind of deal where he got just so many that he was gone, or if he just did something himself. That would be good information, because most of what I've been hearing lately has been really geared hard towards, casting as a manufacturing process, or the assembly of guns is a manufacturing process, even though they never give specific answers to the questions about exactly what policy was and how. They never give that.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I got plenty of fishing weight molds that, just happen to work really, really good. Fishing weight molds, if you're doing that, it's no different, because they're the same manufacturer of the mold than it is to cast bullets, because all you're doing is dumping hot lead to make a shape.
Yeah.
Well, you can sit there and you can do all that, but when you go fishing, you're actually dumping a raw lead product into the water to go fishing, but nobody ever says anything about that.
Especially if you snag them up and they get lost out there.
Well, here, let me ask you this. Have you guys ever seen this on a box if you buy a weapon?
Well,
See,
yeah,
a lot
because
of
it
that
has
in California.
yeah. Well, it's because it gives lead poisoning to the criminals.
Does that have to do with some kind of like tritium sites, or I mean, California is like, even like with your red dots and things like that, they put those warnings as potential cancer causing and stuff.
Well, since you said that, this actually does come with a set of backup sites that happen to be high vis. Let's see what kind of these are. It doesn't say what kind of polymer and synthetic safe. Oh, it's cleaners.
Yep.
It doesn't say what kind of sites these are, but I got 2 extras.
So fiber optic type sites. Yeah.
Right. Well,
it's probably because it had a test round shot through it, so it contains lead or possibly
Ooh.
contains lead.
I never thought of that, but you're probably right on that.
Well, even the port door for my AR and both my trigger kits I got from Rock River a couple weeks ago both had the Prop 65 on them too for no reason. So
right. Well, I inquired this yesterday.
Fun.
Yes. And I tell you what, this little bastard is so neat, dude. This thing, you can just sit and spin this thing all day long. I mean, it's awesome. This is my first Kel-Tec. It is polymer. It's my first polymer lower. I'm not a polymer fan by no means at all. But this little bad boy was sitting at the bottom of the case all by its lonesome, looking all scared and afraid in the corner, and needed a good home, some loving, some rubbing downs. It needs to be held. The heartbeat's there. It's just an awesome little 22. So I had to get it, man. And I tell you what,
it probably hasn't been fed in a long time, just sitting there. So make sure you feed it regularly.
Yes. The only problem I've seen with these, if you load the full 30 rounds, like 30, 29, 28, 27 are kind of like hard to feed. The guy said, top it off 30 rounds, let the mag sit for like 48 hours. So the spring get a little bit of memory to it or whatever. And that will help out until you start shooting it a lot and getting that sprung war in a little bit. But I didn't know they came with polymer mags either, man. These mags are like really nice. And you guys own this?
That mag is like almost ridiculously sized, though. Maybe it's just your camera that thing looks huge.
Yeah, it is. But, if you're sitting there going up and down, there's like next to no play. Or if you're trying to go side to side, there's like next to none. But it'll drop. Okay, well, that was the first time it actually fell all the way out. So let me grab the other one. I've been playing with it. See there, it only dropped down about an eighth of an inch. And this one's tight all the way. Any you guys own these PMR 30s?
Not yet.
Not yet, but being tight all the way is never really a bad thing. I won't complain about that.
Right. Well, I'm one of those guys. I don't believe in dropping the mag and then stepping on it. I like to take the mag out, stick it in my pocket, and grab the other. I don't have the money to replace the mags, so I try not to damage them. So I'm not one of those guys that, click, drop, reload, keep going. Unless you're in a life-threatening situation, well, then that's different. But I don't like dropping my mags in the dirt.
We're proud of you for your adoption. That was awfully nice of you. You have a big heart, Tyven. We've always known it, but now there's proof right there.
Thank you, sir. I was told these were going for about $800 2-3 months ago, and the price is coming down. I picked this up for about $425. So I don't know if that's a good price or not, but it wasn't about the money. Dude, this 22 just feels right in my hand. I mean, if you run out of ammunition, pretend it's a grenade and throw it at the dude. You know, I like this. This is the first 22 Win Mag that I've owned. I wish I could have got it in OD green though. I'm not a polymer fan, but I couldn't pass it up.
I'm not high, but yeah, just be ready for finicky ammo, man. They're finicky with any ammo.
All right, I got Winchester 22 Win Mag ammo. What ammo have you heard of or your experience of that this weapon actually prefers over a different kind?
It's picky with everything, dude.
So it's just case by case basis?
Yeah, just be prepared for issues. It's just a picky gun.
Pop's Quest is in the side chat, and I know he has that gun, if I'm not mistaken. He did some videos. I think he did some testing with a lot of different ammo, and so he'd be able to chime in on that.
Pop Quest, I'll have to go check his videos out.
Yeah, he has that, and I believe he's got the little rifle too, the WMR rifle too, Caltech.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a little fire blaster. Yeah, he has that, and I believe he's got the little.
Yeah, he said run the CCI 40 TMJs.
CCI 40 TMJ. 40 green. T what?
TMJ. So that'll be
TMJ.
Total metal jacket.
Okay.
Yep, the total metal jackets.
Okay. So, well, I've got a couple other questions. I didn't mean to hog the first 15 minutes, guys. So I apologize, but thank you for your knowledge. I'll kind of like sit back here and I didn't mean to be rude or disrespectful, but you know, thank you, gentlemen.
Oh no! If you got questions, I mean that's a portion of why we even do this. You know, to share the knowledge, man. Sharing the knowledge is huge.
Yes, you guys, between your whole panel and everybody, with your guys' experience and everything, that's why I asked if I could come on if you had room, because you know, with the collective of the group and with all the knowledge and experience. Helps, and I hope that everybody watching, you know, can seek the same type, you know, keep an open mind, ask. The only dumb question is one that's not asked.
Very
correct. I know you guys are very wise in what you do, so thank you guys. I deeply appreciate it, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
It does appear that we have a slight update. Gunwild 1, which I know also is a customer of Hard Targets, and a buddy of our entire community said that he just needs to take a break for a while. I know the man was down with shoulder surgery, and we wish him nothing but love and the best. It was really kind of it was kind of irking to see that everything just disappear off his channel like that.
He lost everything. Was it intentional or was it taken down?
That's still up to speculation.
Okay.
He said that he turned him on private. So
yeah, Gil's a good guy. Makes a great product. His steel is so reasonably priced and high quality. Really, I've been running his half silhouettes for a little over half a year yet, and they still once I just repaint them, they still look brand new.
So the manufacture all different type of silhouettes and stands and different hole configurations and different type of hangers. Is he a one-man band with his own business and shop and caters, or does he own a pretty big establishment to cater to a lot?
He's been solely a one-man band the entire time. His product was absolutely awesome. He had been working on developing a stand, and he had come out with it just a couple of months ago. not only a single stand, but one that can hold doubles and triples. But shortly thereafter, I think, is when he went in for shoulder surgery, and so I'm not sure if his operations are continuing or not. From what I'm gathering, he's not up on operating yet. But his product was second to none, and his customer service was through the roof.
Speaking
Is he
of
in the
hard target,
comments?
he's in the side chat.
No, he has not been.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's out there now.
He's out there now.
What's the underneath?
He just said that he made them private, is what he said, just to make it clear that YouTube didn't strike or take down. He made it private.
What was his name? Hard Target in the comments?
Yeah, he just commented again.
Hard Targets, I need to contact you, sir. We're doing the Creator Summit event, and I can help you promote your product if you're interested. So please get in contact with me. I'd like to do some business with you. In fact, I'll go over and subscribe to his channel right now.
So, Big Swedes, you got the new system running.
Yeah,
What else
man.
is going on?
Just sweet. Really nothing, man. I've been, like I said, if I'm not out of the mountain snowboarding, I was building this PC, and I haven't really done much of anything in the way of shooting. Hopefully the weather's getting better. I'll do some more shooting here soon. But man, I don't know. Like the whole thing with YouTube, they're just frustrating the shit out of me. It's like, put out videos for them to, turn them off. It gets old. So that's kind of why I started doing the B channel, as just a way to do stuff and not have to worry about YouTube taking it down. But I'm not abandoning it, just kind of taking a step back. But we'll get back into it.
Yep. Hey, real quick, Hard Target, you took your videos down, but your playlists are still up with all of your videos. You can still go look at all of them through your playlists.
Yeah, that I did notice. He left his playbills up. Yes, that machine looks absolutely beastly, man. You digging it?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you weren't here when I did the little show earlier.
I'll say this.
She's up and running now. Yeah,
it's close enough that you look like you've got a little bit of a sunburn, and that's good.
Yeah, I was out snowboarding this weekend. It was some decent sun at times.
Nothing like some red interior lights to accentuate that.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
that's bad. Liquid cooled?
No, not liquid cooled yet. It will be eventually. I'm not doing anything crazy, like crazy overclocking or anything. Once I get the liquid cooler installed, we'll do some higher overclocks. Right now, it's just like 200-300 megahertz, but nothing big.
Yeah. Nice. I built one out for my son for his gaming stuff, and it's held up. It's overclocked, but it's just a little bit built up off of a alien gear. So
yeah, I could game with this if I wanted to, if I was into that. But this I built specifically just for the photo and video editing stuff. But I wanted it to look cool too. So
yeah, why not?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Hard Target was answering. Tyven. He said thanks, but I'm retired. Can't lift over 25 pounds with the shoulder for life.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking for a target specialist for the event. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, those that AR 500 plate, it runs about a pound more per square foot than your regular A36 structural steel does. It's pretty heavy stuff. I got a bunch of it over at my dad's place.
No.
Hey, that's better than Chico's neighbor's dogs barking.
Yeah. So,
They
Jesse,
haven't
you've been
started
getting a
yet.
lot of stuff in the mail, man. You've been a lot of reloading videos coming up. So, what's going on, man? You got the sickness.
I've got the sickness. I get some more stuff coming next week. Hopefully, the stuff I get next week, I can actually start reloading. I got a quick question for you guys. You guys clean your grass then deprime, or did you just deprime and then throw them and clean them?
Well, let me start this off being brand new to the whole thing. I don't know which is better, but the way that I'm going to go ahead and go about doing it is deprime and then clean.
Okay. Seems like you got to be a little bit more thorough with it if you deprime and then clean to make sure you get all the media out.
Well, we had a conversation with Pops Quest that was out there, and he's like, there was a little bit of speculation, I think, and some people wondering, should they clean after they deprime or before they deprime. He's saying in the side chat, clean then deprime, because you don't actually. It doesn't need to be super clean, I guess, for the primer to seat in there properly.
Yeah, for rifle, you want to probably deprime first. I do it for pistol too. You don't necessarily have to, though.
Yeah, I do it for pistol too, but I'm using a Sonic cleaner. I'm doing all of mine with like a 2-liter Sonic cleaner. So,
and that's the same thing. I use Sonic cleaner. So
that was my question. Do you deprime first, then use a Sonic cleaner, or leave the primer in, Sonic cleaner, then pull out and deprime?
I take it out and get a bunch of it ready, and then I run the Sonic cleaner for. It takes about 8 minutes for mine with Lemashine and Dawn, just a slight mixture in there, and it comes out looking brand new when it's done. It cleans the primer pockets out really good. Mine's just a cheap Sonic cleaner that I picked up at Harbor Freight.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you, what brand. Does it really matter what kind of brand on Sonic cleaners? Are they pretty much all the same?
I think personally some of them are better than others. I know this one, if I run it and I run it with the heat on, it will cycle off after I've run about, I can run about 50 to 60 in mine at a time. And I can usually run about 2 of those before it will time out. Need to take a break from the heating element in it. So there's probably better ones that would just keep running, and that wouldn't be an issue. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got the Harmony one, and I can run that for quite a few cycles with the heat on and not have any issues with it. So, I mean, there are some differences, but your average is going to cost you about $50 or more. But generally, they all do the same job.
Okay.
I do like that sexy clean primer pocket, though.
That's what
I'm the same way. For whatever reason, I like to make sure they're 100%. That's just me. I'm just picky. C-Max got me hooked on that, man. He used to do the same thing. He used to deprime first, and for whatever reason, I've just always done it.
Yeah, I can sit up here in my office and run it, while I'm working, and then just get up and take it out, throw it on a towel, let it dry, shake it in the towel good, let it sit for a while, and it comes out with that mixture of just a tad of Dawn and a sprinkling of Lemashine. It comes out looking new without spots or anything.
So I have a question about annealing. Is that something that you have to do off? I know what annealing does, but how do you know when it needs to be done?
Jamie, you're probably the best one for this one.
A lot of guys will have a set routine. Like they'll reload it 4, 5, 6 times and then anneal it. What you're doing is making your case mouth soft again so that you can work it. But for sure, the first time you notice a split neck on rifle cases, you need to anneal all your brass.
Okay.
But if you stick to a routine, you should never have any split necks and have to lose a piece of brass. But I always, to answer the question, I always deprime mine and then clean them. I use this die, the Lee Universal Decapping die, because I like to get my primer pockets as clean as possible. And a lot of the guys who will clean and then deprime, they do that because they don't want the dirt off that case getting inside their full-length sizing die, which is what they're using to decap it with. If you get yourself one of these, you see how big around it is. The case is not going to touch that. You're not going to dirty it up. And if you decap it with this and then clean it, then you can lube it and size it in your full-length sizing die, and you won't be getting all that dirt up in your sizing die.
Well, wouldn't it be wiser to decap before you clean? That way you get the material between the cap and the case off. That way when you're repriming, you have a clean primer pocket.
Well, that's my theory, and that's the reason I do it the way I do it. I want the primer pockets as clean as possible.
Okay.
Not that it matters. You know.
There is debris though in there.
Somewhat, but most of it is on the face of the. I don't know if you can see that. Most of it's on the face. When it comes to the side, you're not going to have much there because the caps there, the primer is there protecting the sidewalls. So basically, all you're dealing with is that face right there where your flash hole is, and it's going to take an awful lot of shooting to get a flash hole blocked up. In my opinion.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What would be a proper temperature or procedure of annealing? I know you want to go down, what, quarter-inch below the neck all the way to the top of the case. Is there a certain temperature of the flame that makes the case more consistent when you're annealing?
I wouldn't know, but typically 7 seconds. And a lot of guys will do it with a annealing machine. If you got a annealing machine, you don't have to worry about it. But I don't want the flame down on the neck. I mean, down on the case. You know, I want it to stop right there at the shoulder. I want to get the shoulder just a little bit warm, but not down onto the body of the case. And a lot of guys will do it with a socket, like a spark plug wrench socket that's got the rubber inside to hold it, and then they'll just turn it with that in the flame. But 7 seconds tends to be the ideal amount of time at the end of just a regular old propane torch. It ain't nothing.
If you get to the point that you have to anneal, is it better to anneal first before you reach, like the little tool that I was talking to you about, the thickness of the end of the round? Is it better to anneal prior to reshaping the thickness around that, or is it better to do that first then anneal? Because annealing softens the material up, turns it back to the original state.
Well, that's the source of a pretty good debate going on in the long-range shooting community. I personally think that you'd want to size it, full-length size it, or neck size, whatever you're going to do. Then anneal it. Then do your neck trimming to make it easier.
Okay. That makes the material more pliable to work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my thinking, but I could be totally wrong. And if I am, somebody's going to tell me.
Thank you for the information.
That's just my theory. What do you think about that, Chico? You think that's pretty close?
Yeah, I don't do anything with annealing, but me watching other guys, and I can tell you a few guys that mess around with annealing and would know more. Like West Desert Shooter, Eagle Eye Shooting, which he was in the side chat. Coates Brothers Firearms would definitely know about it, and a lot of other guys. And Tyvin, I don't know if you're familiar with the Reloaders Network.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you join. I don't know if you've heard about the Reloaders Network. If you get over there, man, a lot of those guys are very helpful and would be happy to give you their experience. Some of those guys that's on the Reloaders Networks are not even on YouTube. So, I mean, for whatever reason, but we can definitely give you the link or whatever. I mean, you can just type in the reloadersnetwork.com and go over there and ask those questions. And if someone else hasn't chimed in the side chat, but man, there's plenty of help over there, and the great community of guys. But I am unfamiliar with rifle cartridges at all. I haven't started reloading rifle. I mainly do pistol for now.
Well, there is another question in the side chat for Jamie. Mad Sexy Man of the Night is wanting to know, how do you tell when you need to anneal?
Well, that's kind of what I was saying a while ago. Most guys will get on a set routine and do it like every fourth, fifth, or sixth time they reload. The only way to know when you need to anneal is kind of like, how pregnant can you be? I mean, once you start getting split necks, it's time to anneal. But by then, hopefully it's only one or two of them that split at the range on a particular day. But a lot of times you can feel it when you're crimping or when you're bullet seating. You can or when you're trimming your brass. You can feel when it's starting to get brittle and hard. You just got to pay attention to those kind of things and deal with it. But yeah, I think if you just load them 5 times, then anneal them, you'll be all right.
Is there more of a percentage of annealing need done between certain types of brass companies, different type of manufacturers? Do you see some brass, on average, you say 4 to 5. Have you ever come across any brass from certain specific companies that you say, okay, it needs to be done every 3rd time or every 8th time?
Not me, no.
Okay.
That's something that comes with experience and you feeling your brass and, just knowing what you're being aware of what's going on.
Thank you. Just so you know, I can't read side chat. I apologize. I'm on mobile.
Oh, no problem, bro.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the information.
No problem, brother. No problem. Glad to help, even though my help was very minimal.
It looks like you go through a lot of 9mm. I see you over there doing this.
Yeah, I do go through. That's mainly that's my main carry and my main thing I shoot. Probably close to 400 rounds a week. So yeah, I shoot a lot of. I was sizing bullets though, so I'll give y'all a little action because I may not be able to be doing this soon on YouTube. So I size like 400 bullets that I'm gonna be sending off to some guys, and that's why I was on mute. So. I know one of our guys, Eagle Eye Shooting. I know some of his brass. I was watching a video where he was saying his brass was on its 26 loading. Was that correct, Jamie?
Probably.
Yeah, he was up there pretty high.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's I guess using every bit of it. He definitely knows about rifle and stuff. He would be my go-to person to ask technical questions about trimming and neck sizing and stuff like that because he does a lot of it.
Okay. Any of you guys in the Ohio Valley? They had the Ohio, what was it? The Ohio Turkey and Deer Expo today up at Columbus Fairgrounds. I actually picked this up today. It's a laser bullet for sighting in.
Oh yeah.
I picked this up today.
I got one of those that I use like on if I'm putting a new scope on something, I'll use it to kind of get set on paper, and then I won't trust that with like, you know, accuracy at all, but they're good for getting things lined up when you've put a new scope on.
Getting you in close.
Yeah, I too will use the in-chamber lasers just to get in the ballpark.
Yep, get on the paper.
I'm still old school.
Not for fine tuning, but to get in the ballpark for sure.
Okay.
So I got a question for Pops Quest out there in the side chat. Where the hell's the thumbs down at, man? We've been doing this for how long, and there's no thumbs down? What the hell?
See, you had to say something.
Hey, it's not a chat.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, all right.
He's slipping.
Well, the next question Mad Sexy throws out there is, can you anneal too much?
Yeah, you could burn the material.
You definitely can. I'm not at that point, so I can say for sure exactly when, but yes, I know you can for sure.
I like to anneal my feet every now and then. They get cracks.
Yep, I think Pops fixed it. Cheers, brother. Appreciate you.
Buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Thank you, Pops.
City.
Feel the love.
Yeah, you can melt it. You know, brass will eventually melt, and it'll be so soft that it won't hold your neck tension on the bullet. That would be bad, real bad.
Razor's asking, is anyone familiar with Georgia Arms reloaded ammo?
Yes. Who asked that?
Razor.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. They're in Billerica.
I bought some of their projectiles and some of their brass at a gun show down here. And actually, this is that's not where I bought the powder from. Yeah, so they're down in Georgia, and that's where I'm at, and Jamie's at. But they do make reloaded ammo, but I haven't purchased any. I did buy some of their projectiles, and I got them sitting right here actually. They work good. I like them. Unfortunately, they were 115 grain, and I really don't shoot 115 grain. So, but that's them right there. I had a tag that said Georgia Arms. But
well, you say you don't do 115. What is your normal grain weight that you shoot?
Well, 124 is my go-to. I recently got some 147s. I'm gonna try out because I know a lot of my brothers who reload try heavier bullets. You know, when you reload, you're gonna try different stuff to find out what your gun likes. So even before I started reloading, my main carry ammo is 124 grain. So that's what I just bought first. But I did buy 115 at the gun show just to try those out.
Yeah, you'll run through a bunch of different ones. I've tried some heavy bullets. I've tried some lighter bullets. My Shadow 2, for whatever reason, loves 124, so that's what it gets.
My belly likes flaming yawn, but it always gets dead.
Yeah. Yeah, my VP9 is the same way. It likes 124. 115, it's picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ran the 150s just fine. They were just really inaccurate. They ran like a champ, but accuracy was just way off.
Were those things just like all over the place? Were they unpredictable? What?
Oh, like the first couple mags were shooting high, and then the next couple mags were shooting low, so they're just all over the place. It was just odd. You know, I haven't had anything like that happen before. It was kind of odd. So.
And that was what running the same charge behind him, right?
Yep, on the same charge. Yep. And I don't think I need to go up on the charge because the charge was fine. I mean, I checked I ran them through the chrono and they were doing plenty feet per second. So, yeah.
Here we go. Heck yeah. Now you're reloading your nines. What brass have you found that the majority of yours likes better? Do you do different type of brands on brass, or do you just stick to one kind of brass and that's what you use all the time?
Anything that doesn't have a Glock smiley face on it.
I was gonna say anything that pretty much hasn't been shot in the Glock for the most part. However,
I thought we weren't allowed to say the G word. That was an automatic ban.
Well, that was in a negative sense, so it's a pro.
Oh, okay.
It was in a negative way. I did just pick this up too. So this is the Bulge Buster kit. I picked this up because a lot of the brass that I got from C-Max was 45s. And I got some stuff from Alaskan Ballistics and 44 and stuff like that, and 10 millimeter. And I know he shot a bunch of them out of Glocks. So I gotta run them through this bad boy before I can use them.
So that's what a Lee Bulge Buster kit.
Yep.
I need to pick me up one of those. I've been gaining weight the past couple of months.
When I go to the range, I rake up as far as that rake will go out in front of my stall, and you never know who shot what. But I can look at them and tell who shot stuff through Glocks when I'm sorting stuff. So at this point, I haven't saved a lot of those. I've just kind of tossed them back, kind of like cold fish. But I've got one Glock, but my one Glock has an EFK Fire Dragon fully supported barrel in it, so it doesn't do that to the 357 SIG.
Yeah, you don't need this for 9 or anything like that. This is strictly, I picked it up for the 45 and the 10 millimeter and all that stuff that I got, because I got so much 45 brass from C-Max and that, it's insane. And a lot of that I know went through Glocks. So
I got a question for the 9 millimeter. A lot of Glock 9 millimeter brass. I thought I saw a video where you use sizing die. I think it was from Makarov. Then use it with 9 millimeter.
yeah, you don't have to use a Bulge Buster for 9 at all. There's usually never any issues with that because the case is so small.
Yeah, you won't find one from Lee. Lee doesn't make one.
Yeah, and if you're running them back through a Glock, it's not really a big deal. It's if you go from a Glock anything to a non-Glock fully supported chamber, that's where you run into the issues. I did let one slip through the cracks today that had a bulge in it that it did hang up in my PO7.
Now, can I ask you a quick question?
I read a CD and a Glock.
What's that? Yeah. What was that?
I got a quick question. Now, you said when you're picking up brass from the gun range and it's got different characteristics on it, what's the characteristic that you can tell on the brass that the G shot? What is that?
On brass, if it was shot through a Glock, usually your primer strike will have a square instead of just a round dent. It's going to be a square strike on there. And then also you have the bulge at the bottom of the brass.
Bulge on the bottom of the brass. So they're using a square firing pin and not a round firing pin.
No, it's still a round firing pin. For whatever reason, you just get a square mark on all brass whenever it's shot from a Glock eye.
Is that a known trait on all of them, or is that just specific for that?
It's all of them.
Really? Okay.
I call it a smiley face, but it's a bulge. It's just that you can see it. You can see it in the base of the case.
Okay, I've never observed that. That's
could be.
I've been picking up my brass.
Frowny face. Just turn it upside down. Smiley face, whatever. So.
Yeah, if you've never looked for it, you'll never. You're never paid attention, then you wouldn't notice it. But
it's more apparent when you after you run it through your sizing die, and especially on 40 Smith & Wesson. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's literally a smiley face, a little smile at the base of the right in the webbing of the brass.
Okay. Man, you guys have really helped me out. I appreciate this. I'm just not paying enough attention and being observant enough. But like I said, I'm just getting into it. So, these are things that I need to look out for when I get in to start reloading. The characteristics of the round, what it does, what specific weapons does to specific ammunition. Like you said, the G, where it leaves a certain mark on the cap. Some guns will leave, marks on the end of the case, or the brass extractor if you're running a semi. Some people's brass extractors are overpowered and it'll kind of stretch or cause the end of the round to crack because it's grabbing it and throwing it. I've seen some of those in some of the cases that I picked up. Because I always police up my brass when I get done shooting just to help keep the range clean, pick up trash and all that other stuff. I've observed some of the things that you guys are talking about, but I never thought to even look at the cap to see, oh, well, this gun shot this. I know what he was using. That's interesting. That's definitely being observant or observant.
Let me say something about that. If you're not reloading, man, you have no reason. Yeah, that's interesting.
Is that the one that keeps dragging the primer strike on there? That's a no.
That's your Glock hammer right there. Can you see the rectangle sort of?
Right.
All Glocks. All the Glocks I've seen done that.
Yep.
Okay.
When you start to reload, you'll notice more of these things because it's a concern. You'll see some guys like Scott was saying, you just throw some of the brass back you done picked up. But that being
a lot of times you won't notice until you've cleaned it.
Right.
You'll run it and clean it, and then as you're sorting through, as you're cleaning, you'll find more issues and stuff like that. I try to sort as I'm depriming and stuff, but you never know. You don't always find that one. You find it sometimes after you cleaned them.
Right. Cleaning question. Now you said, Crazy, that you use an a sonic cleaner.
Yep.
If I don't have the cash to get it and I need to go the old way, I've seen and heard of guys using walnut shells or kitty litter, or what do you recommend that's cost effective but still does the job in a regular tumble style?
You get a tumble, use stainless steel pins. They're fairly cheap. I think you can get like a 5-pound bag on Amazon for less than $20.
What kind of pin?
Stainless steel pins and wet tumbling. Wet tumbling with stainless pins is the best road.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the Sonic, like what I was telling you that I'm using, that I got at Harbor Freight, I think it was right at $30 for a 2-liter Sonic cleaner. So
that was it for a Sonic cleaner, $30.
It was like right at 32.
Two-liter Sonic cleaner, you can do a couple hundred cases in it easy.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, how big is this? Is this something that I can take like a pistol apart and put in there and clean too, or is it just small enough for like 50
it's a
rounds?
2-liter. I'll come out of the rabbit hole and I'll pick it up and show it to you.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad price for.
I've cleaned I cleaned my APX in there before.
Well, I noticed a couple other big channels here lately have been doing a lot of videos on Sonic cleaners and cleaning and using simple green in their cleaner, and keeping the temperature about 100 and doing it for like 20 minutes. And they were talking about, if you do it too long, it can actually take the coating off the material.
True. I mean, you could leave it sitting in there, and I have seen brass turn to an aged bronze look. So here's
there a book on that gives you like detailed instructions on proper time procedures
Not
and
really.
everything?
Not, but in this case, like here we go. Here's a subcompact gun. Let me hold it up a little higher, and that's the opening in it. So I've actually got some in here to do some cleaning right now, but I can actually put my whole gun.
Go up a little higher. Go up a little higher.
I can put my whole gun inside of the
Oh,
tube.
okay.
You could strip down parts and clean parts in it. Yes, and I've cleaned my wife's engagement ring, my mom's engagement ring. I have cleaned, and they're all like, "Oh my!" They can't believe how brand new stuff looks, and it's pretty versatile. It's good. It's a good little thing to have.
So you don't have to worry about gold being taken off if you do rings and stuff. It doesn't like deteriorate it or cause it to have wear on it on the materials?
3-minute cycle, it won't take that stuff off of there. If you left it sitting in any kind of solution, because lemon shine, that's citric lemon granulated. So you don't want to leave citric acid on any kind of metal for any length of time. So I run 2 480-second cycles, take it out, rinse, dump, shake it out, and let it dry, and it looks brand new.
Okay.
You can see by the time you take the first out.
I was contemplating going to the laundromat and putting about 70 pounds worth of walnut shells in a dryer and about 4,000 shells and just shut it up and let it roll, see what happens. But they had a little problem with me when I started loading up the walnut shells into the dryer.
The coolest thing I've ever seen was Tread did a video. I think he's out there in the side chat. He did a video and he took like 2 5-gallon buckets of brass, dumped them in that smallest cement mixer that you can buy from Harbor Freight, put water in it and Dawn dishwashing detergent and let it run. Then rinse
an actual cement mixer?
Yeah, put it in a cement mixer.
It's one of those little electric cement mixers that Harbor Freight sells. Pretty good size bear.
Okay. Now, is there any of those do-it-yourself where you can make your own sonic cleaner, or is it just cheaper just to buy? I mean, you said it was $30. I mean, that just seems to be the route to go. But if somebody wanted to make a homemade one, is that feasible? Is that something that could be done? I mean, if a guy can do it for $5, I mean, if he's strapped for cash but still needs to get the job done.
Look, if you got that kind of issue, you can take just a bottle, an empty peanut bottle, put some brass in there, put some Dawn dishwashing detergent, fill it up with hot water, and then screw it down tight, throw it on the floor, and sit there and watch TV and roll it with your foot back and forth for an hour, 2 hours. That's going to be better than nothing.
Okay.
That'll get the job done. Then after you let it dry, you can go in and clean out your primer pockets.
Okay.
Harbor Freight also sells that the rock tumbler. That's what I use, and I took a piece of 4-inch PVC pipe and made a bigger drum than the 2 little rubber ones. And that's what I use to clean my brass with the stainless steel pins.
Now, you said the pins, is that like a needle bearing pin? Is that what you're talking about?
It's just stainless steel media. Hold on a minute, I'll get it and I'll show it to you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm about ready to spend some serious money in getting all this and getting started. The only calibers I'm going to be loading is the 338.
For a little while, I've been stockpiling these empty peanut containers for exactly what Jamie was talking about. Not only can you store other things in it, but for cleaning brass, just dump a bunch of brass in here, some hot water, some Dawn, if you want to use lemon shine or whatnot, and yeah, that's pretty much how I'm going about cleaning my brass at the moment.
Okay.
I would absolutely love to be doing it sonically, but the stainless pin route and wet tumbling is the best stuff that I've seen so far. You could actually take new factory made brass out of the package and run it through a stainless steel wet tumbler and make it by far look better.
That's what I was just getting ready to ask. Do you suggest if I buy a bag of brand new brass to go ahead and tumble it? Like start the whole procedure new, just like if it was already pre-fired, just to get a leg up on things when you're getting into the precision shooting and stuff. Just go ahead and do everything, clean everything right out of the bag, even if it's new.
Yeah, and and make sure you lube your cases afterwards. Once everything's dried out, lube it.
Now I know there's a big debate on lube. Oh my God, I've seen everybody swear from grandma's butt grease to chicken fat. What's your go-to lube on your cases that you would recommend?
Make your own.
All right, be a little bit more specific, please.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people. Make your own.
Yeah.
What Jamie has right there is almost, you'll hear a lot of people making their own. It's lanolin oil. What is it?
Yeah, lanolin oil and 99% alcohol. That's it. 12 to 1.
10 to 1 or 12 to 1, whichever.
Okay.
Back to your previous question. 4-inch piece of PVC with a internal cap on the bottom. And if you can look down in there, I've taken a 1/2-inch PVC and cut it in half and then glued it onto the side. Can you see that?
Okay. Oh, so you got fingers inside so it doesn't damage.
No, that's to make it tumble.
Agitators.
Agitate it. Like in the washing machine. And then I've got 2 pounds of the stainless steel media. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just little bitty steel pins. And they come in various lengths to be able to get in there. Let me see if I can grab one. Probably not. There you go. Can you see it?
So it's just like a needle bearing.
Yeah, but they're different lengths.
Now, when you buy those, should you get a specific length or different lengths?
They come in different lengths.
So I want to use a mixture, like some quarters, some 7/16, some 1/2 inch. Use a variety of different size needle bearings when I'm doing that, or just go with one length?
They'll come in different lengths if you buy them from, what's the name of that company? Anyway, they're on Amazon. You do, just look up stainless steel media, tumbling media. And,
okay.
1,000 different things are going to pop up.
Chico, do you have a bag of that stuff there?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I do. These are 255 thousandths, 6.5 millimeter in length, 1.2 millimeters. They're made by Gun Tap. You can get on Amazon, eBay, about probably less than $20. Can y'all see? I'm sorry. 5-pound bag.
I bought.
Now you said 5-pound bag. Is that so? How big of a bowl do I need to run a 5-pound bag of that? And then what is the suggested total amount of rounds to be cleaned with a 5-pound bag to get proper cleaning?
I told you that wrong. I'm sorry. This is a 2.5-pound bag. This is enough to do if you buy that tumble that Jamie has. That's enough to do probably 500 probably more than about 1,000 cases. I've done a lot of them.
You've got to go by the weight of the machine that you're using.
That's what I was asking. Is it a 1-gallon machine so you can get 200 rounds to a 1 gallon plus the cleaning material?
Yeah, I think the one that I use is 10 pounds. So I can fill this up to about right here. Generally, I'll just fill it up, man.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell. It's easy.
To the rim with brim.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's easy to tell.
Then you need one of these to put it on the top, and then you'll have to buy a regular bolt nut to go on there, because it's going to come with one of these wing nuts to make it easier to get on and off. But you can't use this on that machine because it'll bang into the frame. So just get you a regular nut to go on there. But I think
that plus there's enough wing nuts. You don't need another wing nut. We've got plenty of them.
So that thing was like $55, and I think I got like maybe $10 in this canister, and then another $18 to $20 in the stainless steel media. So it's not too bad.
There's a couple guys that haven't said anything yet on the panel, so I'm assuming you guys are more along the lines of, I just buy my ammo and shoot it and not worry about reloading.
You're talking about me, yes.
I've been toying with the idea of getting into reloading. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, so to speak.
Yeah, and there's a few people here that are probably gonna get a little bit of help getting into that, because that's what we do.
That got me started this week.
That is exactly what we do.
Then you get into casting, and you can do this on a Saturday.
My little puppy dog wants to say hi to everybody. Oh, you okay? I'm so sorry.
Wants to bite your arm off on live footage there.
Yeah, I grabbed his leg wrong when I was pulling him up. I'm sorry, big buddy.
You know, we have yet more reasoning to become reloaders if you're not a reloader. Now there's multiple bills going into the House and the Senate that's going to require background checks in order to purchase ammunition. We already knew that if they weren't going to be able to ban the firearms, the next subject that they were going to go after was going to be the ammunition. So we're already starting to see the insane leftists pushing bills, and even individual states pushing their own bills, not only for background checks on ammunition, but to raise taxes on ammunition to a stupid, ridiculous percentage, all the way up to like 50%. So it's another reason to get into reloading.
And to get into casting is the next logical step in that process, unless you can also figure out how to make your own powder. So primers,
and get a brass catcher too for your rifle to save as much brass as you can, and you don't have to hunt for it as long.
That's a very worthwhile investment.
Didn't Connecticut, I think it was Connecticut or New York, didn't they want to try to put RFID tags in boxes where they can track all that?
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty was talking about that in a side chat recently. May have been last week when I was just out in the side chat, but yes, I mean, and California has floated the idea about not only license for, background checks for, but also limits in the amount that you can buy.
Well, according to Gunwild One in the side chat, says the background checks for ammo starts here in Cali in July.
Yeah.
Cali has already passed the law for background checks for ammunition, which to me is really pathetic.
Now I wonder.
It's not the first time California's done it. They've done it in the 90s as well. It lasted like a year or two before the paperwork just got too heavy for them, that they finally decided it wasn't worth it, because you guys be on a 3-4 week wait list and the government wasn't getting crap done, and government wasn't making money off of it. So
now I wonder if they're going to start the same thing with components, if that actually works in California.
Some states will, sure.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pass where you got to have a background check and be having FFL just to buy a reloading machine.
All right,
Why
check.
can't they just leave us alone?
'Cause
I
they're
saw a
assholes.
sign today that said Ohio deaths on the highway, 376. Well, I'm thinking, okay, well, if there's 376 deaths on the highway and there was only one shooting and it was a legal shooting, why aren't they capping the speed limits at 35 because there's so many people killing people on the highways?
You're too
And
late.
I'm a truck driver. I want 90 mile an hour. But, you know, split speed limits is the most dangerous thing you can have. But still, I'm looking at the hypocrisy of these people trying to pass all these laws. And I'm thinking, you know what? You need to get out of your office and get some. You know what I mean?
You can't bring logic into this argument. Come
Right.
on now.
And it's not about the saving lives or anything else that they claim it's about.
No.
It's actually about control and controlling people. That's all it's about.
Yeah, because if it was about saving lives, people would be clamoring about vehicles
Abortion.
and drugs and all the other
Yeah,
Dude,
there'd be a
okay,
lot more
so-
things to be pitching about.
perfect example of the hypocrisy of the gun stuff. A buddy of mine who's he's type 1 diabetic since he's a kid. He's got all kinds of health issues. He's been on opioids forever, and was kind of toying with the idea of going the medical marijuana route. He was told that if he does get a prescription for medical marijuana, he would have to turn in his guns.
Yep.
But it's okay to be on opioids. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Like, they make no sense.
Well, not only that, if he wants to get on and get his weed card, it's still a written prescription from a doctor, the same as an opioid.
Yeah.
If it's still a written prescription and a medical issue, shouldn't one have the same priority as
Right. And especially with the opioid crisis that we have over here, you'd think that they would be, more, worried about the opioids than the marijuana, but no.
They're not.
I think the opioid thing is just a scam, and they had some bad people selling a bunch of drugs that they shouldn't have been selling. I use opioids. I had major back surgery, and I take that shit, and I don't sit there and take like 5, 6 and be on a stupor and can't get off the couch. That's personal decision. That's personal well-being. That's a self-control issue. If you're a diabetic and you see a candy, or a candy cane sitting there, not to take it. Not to eat it. What it's going to do to you. Yes, there's some dumb people out there who have no self-control. Okay, well, I understand that too. But it still comes down to personal responsibility. It still comes down to restraint. And it still comes down to people making a rash decision of to know what you can and can't do. And I think a lot of it's just BS.
Yeah. All right. We're almost to that time, so we're going to start running through the room. Ty, we'll just start with you right off the bat. We'll go with you first, and then we'll go through everyone else.
Okay. Well, hey, I thank you guys for answering all my questions and helping me with some knowledge. I will be reaching out to you guys again. I'll go over to the website and post. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for all of your help and your knowledge and everything. Real quick, we're going to be holding the Creator Summit May 19th. It's just for collaborators. Content creators, not going to be companies there. It'll be held at Thunder Valley Precision. So if you want to come out, hang out, and make some content if you're new or if you're been in the game for a while and you want to go out to a mile, May 19th is a good date. The main event for the Creator Summit is going to be September 13th, 14th, 15th. Actually, I got these in the mail. Goat Guns hooked me up, and we're going to be using these and making a trophy for the long distance shooting during the event. So we've got that to work with. Follow me on YouTube, The Tyvin Show. I do gaming, guns, vlogs, just all kind of crazy stuff. So Instagram, HC Tyven, and Twitter at the Tyven Show. And once again, everybody, thank you so kindly for all your help and your knowledge. I deeply appreciate it. Seriously, I deeply appreciate it. And thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you showing up. Chico Wise, Dirty South.
Yes, sir. Hey, glad to be a part of the panel and answer any questions. Side chat, if I miss any of your questions, I apologize. So thanks for having me, guys. If I'm ever so happen to be kicked off YouTube, you guys can always find me on the Reloaders Network and on Gunstreamer, Instagram, stuff like that. Same username, Chico Wise. So thanks for having me. Thanks for being on here with all my brothers on the panel and all you awesome folks in the side chat. So,
yep, awesome. Thanks, man. Good to see you. The Tactical Swede.
Hey, man, as always, thanks for having me. It's good to be back after being absent for a couple weeks. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some gun content going on the main channel, but I do have a couple videos in work on the B channel. We got one more snowboarding video that we did, and then obviously the finish of the PC build. I'm actually going to use that snowboarding video as a test of the new build to kind of benchmark. I'm going to render the same video on both computers just to see how much faster it is. So little tech nerd stuff going on, but yeah, hopefully we'll get some gun content going again here soon. Yeah, YouTube, but always on Gunstreamer as well, posting my stuff there. So if YouTube does continue down this path, then find me over there.
Cool. I appreciate you showing up, brother. Good to see you. Phil.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I didn't get that video out I wanted to for I carry one, the 25-yard handgun, but I'm hoping to do that in the next week and a half to get it out there. And Tyven, I hope to make it out there in May. I'm gonna try and get up early, drive out, and drive home same day. So
I'm camping that night on the 18th. So if you want to throw a pup tent, there is free camping there.
Yeah, I can't do it that weekend, but so I'm just gonna drive. I think it's only 2.5 hours for me. So
okay.
I'm gonna get up early, drive out, hang out all day, shoot some video, and then drive back. So, but Scotsman, appreciate you having me, and definitely glad to be here until we meet again.
Cool. Appreciate it, brother. Jamie.
Thanks for having me, Scotsman. Thanks to all the guys on the panel and all the guys in the side chat. Had a great time. Got some powder coating done. Not this weekend, but next Friday we'll be back on Friday nights. This coming weekend will be the Reloaders Network multi-author live stream. And we're not sure where we're going to be because, as most of you know, Loads of Bacon got his third strike. So we don't know what's going to be going on, what's fixing to happen there. So keep your eyes open next weekend for the Reloaders Network. The Friday night after that, we'll be back on the Reloading Bench, the Reloading Press channel on Nathan's channel. Friday night at 8 o'clock. We hope to see all y'all there. Chico will be there. So will Kyle.
Yep. Awesome.
Thanks again for having me, Scotsman.
Yeah. Anytime, brother. Appreciate you showing up. Jesse B.
Thanks for having me on again. Glad to be on the panel with everybody in the side chat. I have a feeling after this next weekend, I'll actually be reloading. I'll be having more videos coming out about that probably. Thanks for having me on again, brother.
Yep. Welcome anytime, man.
Thanks.
It's good seeing you, Jesse. Always seeing the comments, dude. Thanks for all your support, dude.
I'm not sure if Barry CB, you out there, brother?
Yep, I'm back. So
we're just wrapping up. You're up,
fellas. Other than that, yeah, it's good to get a little bit of knowledge on all this stuff. Did we do a gun check today?
No, we did not.
Nope.
All right. So
coming out of my rabbit hole.
Here we go.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yep. I'm ready. There we go. So we got to close out with a gun check at least. You know, at least I plugged back in just in time for that. I had to get some kid stuff ready. So.
Cool, man. The build looks good.
Yep. Almost done. So.
Are you building that? Is that something you built, or is that something you're playing with, or you fine tuning?
I built it. So it's my.
What is it? What caliber?
5.56. 5.56.
Look how much farther you are ahead than I am. So this is a gun too. Technically, according to ATF, right?
Firearm.
This is a gun because that's what I had to go through the background check for. But this beautiful snowflake unicorn on here.
Oh, I like the unicorn. That's cool.
Well, here's tax. Tech and well, this will be tax build. I got all the parts in for that now, so it's just got to start with the paint and then the putting stuff together. So finally got all the stuff for that.
Are you doing the inlay into the markings on the side of it? Or are you going to put color to it and do all that?
I found one. This one was on sale and it was not inlaid, but I probably will because I love that rainbow inlay on the. I think that's necessary for all snowflakes to be able to see it clearly.
So I have a quick question. What is the best way to inlay? I know you guys weren't getting ready to wrap up and everything. How do you inlay real quick?
Testers. These testers like model paint on mine. That's what I use.
Yep.
Yeah. Tester's model paint or nail polish works just fine. Wipe it off with a card, rub it down with a little bit of polish remover, and you're good to roll.
Yep. And it's got to be a pretty good deep etching for it to work right. You can't do it on like a laser cut on some guns. You can't really get that very clean on there.
Cool. With that being said, we'll go to Inside Freedom, my brother.
I came back out of the rabbit hole, and I've got a lot of who said they had a lot of roll? I have a lot of B-roll, but my B-roll after watching the Friday night Reloaders Network chat is probably not going to get used right now. I'm debating about trying to do something kind of like the Emperor did, some kind of comedy of reloading. Not really reloading, but something to use some of that footage. So I've got a lot of that. I did not only run my first official rounds loaded, but they went to the range today. So I've got a lot of footage of shooting some beautiful Mardi Gras / Joker Chico candy and some other
Chico candy,
jacketed candy. And it all was nerve-wracking for the first few rounds and then just a pure joy after that. There's nothing better than shooting what you roll. Isn't that right, Chico?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there we go. That's me in a nutshell, and deeply into debt to my brother, the Scotsman.
Never in debt, man. Never in debt. All right. With that being said, we'll go to Alan B. Pro.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm super glad that I was able to make it, even though my dumbass was late. Did finally put a video out on the channel. If you haven't seen it, don't bother. It's not worth watching. Other than that, I do plan on trying to get some footage doing some reloading stuff. And I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to put it on YouTube. They can eat a bowl of dicks.
I'm sure when I put the AOK build together, I'm going to, because it's going to be one nice long video. It'll probably get me as my first strike, so I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you go to put that thing together. I'll bring over my time-lapse camera. We'll make that thing like a 2-minute video. Because it's only going to take us maybe 10 minutes to put it together anyway.
Dude, even that, just like when I did my 300 blackout build and I sped up the footage of me building it really like stupid quick. I built it in like 30 seconds. It still got demonetized. It hasn't getting pulled off yet, but it got demonetized.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I'm not.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me or people like the Scotsman because we don't give a fuck about making money on YouTube because YouTube can eat a bowl of dicks.
I just like taking their money and putting it back into the channel to make videos that they don't like.
Well, yeah, really. If I was making any money off of YouTube, I could probably go buy a pack of gum and be happy. Other than that, yeah, I do plan on eventually doing some reloading videos here, and I do plan on showing that in all of its amateur glory. So look for that, and probably some instructional videos on how not to reload properly. Other than that, thank you very much for everybody showing up. We had a great panel, tons and tons of great information being shared. That's one of the reasons why we do this here. We had an absolutely phenomenal side chat that was blowing up most of the night. Thank you all for showing up. Keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Awesome, good deal. And with that, guys, I know we got called on a gun check, so there you go, brother. Always got my 357 sitting by me. But, but I appreciate everyone showing up. I'm glad Alan was able to make it after he remembered about it.
Is this a permanent time change you guys are doing?
Yep, it is for right now. Yep, I'm on third, so until I go back to first, and we may just keep it at this time. I don't know. We'll see.
So 7 and 9.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but with that being said, guys, appreciate y'all showing up, and as usual, YouTube can eat a bowl of dicks.
Woo!